The question I was going to ask, though, is getting started to see if it is something you're interested in. I did put a room in my basement. I have started trying to soundproof it on the low budget to just get a feel for it and make a few recordings. I have my microphone, I have my pop-it filter and all that, just to experiment and develop.
Yeah.
To get where I would say, would I be comfortable doing this? Do you have any tips or tricks that you might recommend towards soundproofing, or if I should be considering making like a demo tape to see what other people think?
Guys?
I'll throw in a little weirdness on this regarding my own studio at home. Because I was going to build full-on, Constructicon studio. A buddy of mine who is, Bob Smart, who is a musical genius and a genius amongst many other things, and an engineer. Yeah. He came over, he was like, he walked into my office, which is so unbelievably messy. There's so much clutter and junk and crap in my room. He went, this is one of the best acoustic rooms I've ever heard in my life. Never clean, never tidy. Put your mic right there. So I sit at my computer and it's... So cleanliness, not necessarily your best friend in the voiceover world. That's the budget way.
Well, anything to break up sound, I would think.
Weirdest answer.
So you're talking from I have a whisper booth, which I put in.
Okay.
And it's really great. What I didn't do was I didn't make sure that the whisper booth doors were closed, and I left one open so my cat went in there and peed. So that took me at least 6 months to get that smell out of my whisper booth. And I insulated everything. Everything was insulated except the doors. They're glass because I wanted to be able to see out in case the bomb dropped. I wanted to be able to get the hell out of there. And it doesn't help. So now I have to record with the doors open until I decide to cover the glass.
Get rid of the cat.
Get rid of the cats. I got 4 cats. There's no way I'm going to get rid of my cats. I get rid of my voice first.
You're going to have to build them a house.
Yes, I'm going to be. The cats have a house. So now everything's corded off and everything's closed, etc. But you can go to great lengths, and it's not really necessary to go to great lengths. You obviously built something that's,
a starter.
It's a starter. It's not a torture chamber, is it?
No.
Okay, got it.
So it's the Whisper Room 2.0.
Yeah, it's about to say it's got.
It's a nice upgrade. It's worth it, trust me.
Chains hanging from the ceiling. Yeah, make demos. Do that. Mine is just simple. I just record and it goes to my computer, and I edit it and send the auditions into my agent because I don't feel like traveling. And it's quite a simple little booth. It doesn't have to be anything extensive. And yeah, continue. If you believe it after you play it back, if you believe what you did was good, then it's probably good. If there's anything about it that you say, well, forget it. It really has to resonate with you. And do 2 or 3 takes if you're doing something. What are you doing for your format? In other words, when you record something, what is it you're recording?
I'm still setting up. I have not started doing it yet.
Okay,
I talked to you the other day, my sister has the books on tape.
Okay.
That seems a little dry, but limited more
that's very
characters,
dry.
and it would be something to start with to see if it could progress.
Get a comic book.
Okay.
And record the characters in a comic book. Do at least 2 or 3 in a comic book. Is what
Sounds
I
like a
would
plan.
suggest to you. Yeah, that's a great way to begin, and then you can. That'll give you an idea of your range. But above all, listen to other characters. I'm not telling you to even if you imitate an actor, that's perfectly fine. It'll sound different coming from you. But behind that imitation is the core, is the acting. Because Rich Little was a marvelous impressionist, and he couldn't act. You had several impressionists that could not act. There are 1 or 2 that really brought it to the mic. I mean, that were really wonderful. And you know,
Frank Gorshin.
Gorshin was sensational.
Yeah.
Fred Travellini, rest his soul, was sensational. I've worked with Fred, but they're rare. So yeah, you want to do that, but what you want to do is invest. When we do this up here, and you watched this yesterday, and you guys down here were really, really good. I was very surprised and angry. But what you need to do is invest the acting in it, because something happens to you when you do it. You don't just do it. You really become it to some degree.
I hear you.
Not 100%, but enough so that it becomes, so it's honest. So the next line coming up is as honest as the line preceding it.
Then it becomes a situation of trying to control them.
Yes.
I've had fully fledged, just like, will suddenly appear. You're like, who the hell is she? Oh.
Well, no one broke into a wrong voice yesterday at all, no, so.
No.
No, but what Michael's saying is absolutely right. But you also have to, because he said, well, make sure you don't fool yourself.
True.
It's very easy to go, yeah, I sound exactly like so-and-so, and you don't. You may have semblances of what that quality is, but the point is you got to be really tough on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a great tool, though. For I mean, if you do the most perfect impression of somebody well known,
Yeah.
you're going to get sued. But you know, if your spot on Marilyn Monroe, which is the greatest Marilyn Monroe that you've ever done in your life, happens to sound nothing like her and probably doesn't, but it may be the basis for a really cool character.
It may be more true.
Yeah, or that's just something you throw into the mix to add another layer of interesting to characters. I 100%, I love what you were saying, Michael. It's like, as I go, like, you know, always, it's like that, well, you know, I want to be a voice actor. It's like, okay, there's two words here. Voice and actor, by far.
Actor.
Actor first. The greatest voice actor, in my opinion, of all time, Mel Blanc. Not really the man of 1,000 voices. They're similar, but what he always did, he never, ever, ever, ever created a voice. He always created a character. Character first. And, you know, this is the reason that, in spite of years of therapy, I still know that rabbits and ducks can talk. And it's the soul that's imbued, you know, and doing the person, you know, I got to do, I was baby foghorn leghorn and baby, but you know what, it doesn't matter. If the soul is missing, the soul is the truth that he put into stuff. You know, with all due respect to whoever's doing it now, the new Kermit sounds a lot like Kermit. It ain't Kermit. It's a great impression, a really great impression, with the possible exception of, who's it that's doing Winnie the Pooh now? Jim, which is eerie. You go like, okay, because that's a consummate, brilliant, intuitive actor that actually occupied the character, allowed the character to occupy him, and it's, to me, it's genius because it's indistinguishable from Sterling Holloway.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's like you hear Arthur and those tones and that sort of, it's not just the tones. It is the character behind. It's the quality of the character behind those tones. Anybody can go, you know, do that thing over here and do this, and they think if I do this sound, etc. That's not it. There's something that comes. There's something much more ephemeral. That's where the acting comes in. Even listening to these guys yesterday, you know, I don't, because I'm not Canadian and I never saw Beast War. I don't even watch my own stuff, for God's sakes, much anybody else's in terms of animation. You know, it's not something I do.
got the time?
But I listened to these guys yesterday and listened to these characters, and I'm listening, and I can see them. I didn't watch them. I can see those characters they were playing. I saw what they were wearing. I saw their hats. I saw their clothes. I saw their look, etc. For me, physically, they created that character because they got in it. They got into the character. It wasn't just a voice over here. It was something that went beyond. So it's rounded. Even you're behind the mic. You're painting the picture. They painted the picture. They didn't give me the etching. They gave me a full character, and that's what you have to do if you want to get into voiceover.
So I mean, like, just to demystify the whole thing, I mean, it's the difference between working from the outside in as opposed to working from the inside out. In other words, when you think you've achieved the voice, that's only a very, very, very small part of how the character is expressed. Like if you ever see Scotty in the studio, it's a full-fledged performance. I mean, you have to get out of the way because he's jumping and leaping and.
That was something I was going to say. People are often surprised when they come in. They think, with the exception of Corlett, who can stand there with his hands in his pockets and be bright. It's incredibly physical.
He's a Christian Scientist.
Because I mean, you are doing weirdness. You know, people said to me, "It's like your whole face just morphed."
Yeah.
It's like, I did.
That's what happens. Yeah.
And yeah, so you have the one channel. Sorry, Al.
No, you're right on the money. Yeah.
But everything that you do, it has to go through this one magic thing, and it goes through the string, and then it goes into a box, and things happen. But your
Click the persona.
has to be more so than it would be for any other medium. Like, it has to be so specific, and it has to be so real and so complete, physically, mentally. And then something cool happens and other people make it move. But people are shocked when they come in, they go like, really? You guys are not well. Like, you're really not well. You should be in a small padded room
You
screaming.
do get physical. If you're straining, you do a strain. If you're climbing, you do the climb. If you're playing a hero, I got to tell you, when I play a hero, both feet are on the ground.
The balls get big.
Tall, and I get bulky. I'm not, and I have a huge puffy place, and I am ready to fight. I mean, that's I get the attitude. If I'm playing a character that's a little squidgy, and you make one of those guys that are over here, one of those evil guys, I do all this, and everybody watching from the booth goes, "What the hell is he doing?" As long as you don't hear it here, as long as I don't go, "Okay, sorry," I don't do any. It's just I know this is here. But this, you get physical. And I don't see anybody, when I don't see somebody do that, I see somebody stand, because I teach, I see somebody standing on one foot, and I say, both feet on the ground. Because the energy goes out of that other foot. You have, and physically, you can't put your hand in your pockets. You know, for me, I just feel that most people, and I think you should stand, quite frankly. I stand. I do not sit when I perform. It's got to come out of here. Whatever the character is, I'm doing a couple of shows now, and I'm playing different characters. If this guy's got a hump in his back, I hump. I get over here, and I do that. It helps me, and I think it helps anyone who's an actor. That's a personal feeling that I have. Otherwise, it's just, as you know, as Scott says, just a voice.
No, you're right, because what you were saying is if you physicalize behavior, then it actually comes out through the voice without you having to construct that.
I think I've picked up on a little bit of that from time to time, but again, to hear it again, to
I
validate
mean, it's
it,
not
it's nice to
magical
have
or
direction.
anything.
So anyway, I know I have other people here. One thing I will say, thank you all for the life you breathed into various characters. We've all enjoyed them. Thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.